Hi there everybody, Andy here from WhatCulture Wrestling. On today's news video, we're going to talk about some changes made to last night's episode of SmackDown. We'll give you an update on Santana's AEW return and his relationship with Ortiz. We're going to talk about the possibility of Nigel McGuinness wrestling at All In. But we're going to kick this one off by talking about last night's episode of SmackDown, because there's nowhere else we can really go here. And it would be improper to kick this thing off with anything else, I think. Obviously, it's been a really difficult week in the wrestling space, particularly for the direct friends and family, of course, of Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk, both of whom sadly passed away this week. Vastly differing circumstances, extremely tragic, and the entire space is reeling, of course. And last night, WWE held a special tribute episode of SmackDown, and they covered both men, and there was a lot of stuff here to get through, and they did a really beautiful job. I think they brought some people in. Eric Rowan was there, which was, I mean, he needed to be given his association with Bray. They brought Cody Rhodes and Braun Strowman. Braun's been out injured. Cody's on a different brand. Obviously, they brought them into SmackDown, and they just did a really good job with this whole thing. It was a tough show to get through. Sorry, it was celebratory in points, but obviously designed to honor the memory of these two men who've passed away this week. Let's just kind of go through some of the stuff WWE did on this show. So it kicks off, and the entire roster, plus Eric Rowan and a few other faces that you don't see as often, are on the stage, and we've got the memorial graphics for Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt popping up on the screen. Michael Cole addresses the audience. Says we're gonna do them justice tonight. We're gonna start with a 10-bell salute. We get the 10-bell salute, and from there, the show really is just it's a really well done tribute night. There were Bray Wyatt QR codes. I thought that was quite cute. After his last major return storyline, of course, scattered throughout the show, and if you scanned one of them, it would take you to a highlight of his career. There was a big Bray Wyatt video package at the start of this with some music playing out like moments from his entire career. There were on-screen moments from like his debut in NXT all the way through to like backstage scenes of him just hugging his peers and having a good time and being really closely connected to these people. And we come back to the arena, and the entire building, it seems, is singing He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, just completely unprompted. And then we go on to a Terry Funk video package that I think is just as well done, and it's nice to see. It's just nice to see WWE taking care of the legacies of both of these gentlemen in the wake of what happened. Rey Mysterio versus Grayson Waller was the first match on the show, and I can't imagine how difficult it is, first of all, being at work on the Friday night, and I think it's a credit to these people, these WWE peers and friends of Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk who went out and had to kind of work with this on their mind. They did an incredible job, and it's to their credit. And Mysterio and Waller here having to wrestle after the emotional hits of the show's opening. I think hats off to both of them. There was plenty of other stuff throughout the show as well. There was like a package of Bray Wyatt's promos. There was some social media posts, like a compilation. There was a video package for The Fiend and his debut. And as far as Terry Funk goes, we got Cody Rhodes coming out and cutting a long tribute promo, and there couldn't have been a better person to do that. There really couldn't, because not only is it Cody, and he's just such an earnest guy the way he comes across when he's speaking, but his father, of course, had legendary battles with Terry Funk. Dusty sucks eggs, all of that stuff, the famous t-shirt and the egg-sucking dog stuff, all those things that linger in history. So it really had to be Cody, and of course he did a wonderful job in paying tribute to really one of the, if not the greatest wrestler of all time. Terry Funk's influence is unparalleled, his adaptability was unparalleled, his longevity was unparalleled. He was a major star in the United States and Japan. He was a man who lived 1,000 lives, passed away at 79 years old this week. It was a life well spent. It's sad sad to hear of anyone passing away, and Terry left a bigger mark on the professional wrestling industry than basically anyone you can name, apart from maybe, I don't know, you could argue a couple of names. I personally wouldn't. And Cody did a really great job here, so shout outs to him. And after that, we had the Terry Funk Hardcore match, which was very appropriate. The Street Profits versus Brawling Brutes. Street Profits won. Nice to see the hardcore legend aspect of Terry's legacy kind of formally recognized there. LA Knight kind of capped things off. He had a promo and he closed it on "The next time you see me, run." Of course, he was Bray's last feud on WWE television, so that was really nice to see. He wrestled in the main event, and afterwards, the lantern appeared in the arena. In the middle of the ring, and there was smoke, there was lighting effects, there was a big shot of Bray on the Tron. He had his back to the camera. He was facing the video screen from that photo, and we lingered on the lantern, and the show went off the air. It was a really tremendous piece of work across the board, and I'm really glad that WWE was able to do this. Thoughts, sympathies, and prayers to the family of Bray Wyatt, the friends of Bray Wyatt, the family of Terry Funk, his friends. It's a really awful week. Understandably, WWE rewrote a lot of last night's episode of SmackDown to accommodate the tributes. A part of this meant cancelling a pre-advertised Jimmy Uso segment, which obviously doesn't matter in the scope of things like this. That's going to be happening next week. They've been advertising his return. They've put it back a week. Basically, they removed it from the preview. So you can look forward to that on next week's episode of SmackDown. Obviously, big storyline considerations pale in comparison to anything that these things may have been moved around for. I'm sure there was other changes as well. Fightful reported before the show that the show was going to have a significant tribute portion, and that various things were being moved around and cut. And it was the right move. You can't just have a regular wrestling show around this stuff. And I'm glad that segments like that were put in a different place on a different week. We'll just kind of talk about some other wrestling news that's doing the rounds today, although it's quite difficult to do so. Let's talk a little bit about Santana's AEW return. Conan, who, if you remember last year, broke the news that Santana and Ortiz had fallen out behind the scenes. He's been speaking with House of Wrestling, and he's revealed that Santana at one point, when he was in AEW, why am I speaking in the past tense? He's still there. Silly. He wasn't happy with the way he'd been booked in the promotion. Conan actually estimated that about half of the roster feels the same way. And he says that the falling out between Santana and Ortiz, it stemmed from Santana not feeling like Ortiz didn't stand by him when he should have on this issue. So still no word on whether or not Santana and Ortiz have mended fences or anything like that. I think that's their business, and if they have, I think that's fantastic. Saw Ortiz posting a selfie of the duo yesterday or the day before, but I think it was from a few years ago. So if they do get back on the same page, I'd love to see that. I love those guys together, but if they're going their separate ways, just being professionals for All In, hey, fair play. It's their situation, and none of us should be judging that. I look forward to seeing what's next from both of them. I thought they both looked incredibly cool on this week's episode of Dynamite. Santana's Mike Santana now, of course, and he's been tweeting as if this is a solo run, so I'm excited for that. The guy's a really underrated all-rounder. He's not just a great wrestler, he's a great talker. If you remember that promo he did when John Moxley was feuding with the Inner Circle in early 2000, and he skewered Santana in the eye, and Santana cut that promo about his father and blindness, and he's tremendous at this, and I'm sure he'll do a fantastic job with whatever material comes his way. Our final story, we're going to talk a little bit about Nigel McGuinness, and there's no questions on today's video. I'm sorry, it's been a very chaotic few days, and we'll get back into the regular swing of things soon enough. But let's talk about Nigel McGuinness. Obviously, he's been speculated for an all-in match. It didn't look in the past couple of days like that was going to happen because nothing had been announced, and he has effectively confirmed this now. This is coming through Fightful Select, who of course had previously reported that Nigel is taking steps to return to the ring, and you can kind of see it when he's sitting there behind the commentary desk all jacked in his polo shirts. He looks great. Nigel looks tremendous. No frosted tips yet, folks, so maybe that's a giveaway. But Nigel was actually interviewed by Tempest of Wrestle Talk over All In Weekend, which is this weekend, and he was representing Fightful, Tempest was, and he said he won't be wrestling at All In, Nigel did, and specifically cited Bryan Danielson being injured as something that is keeping him from wrestling on the card. He also said he thinks he's a better commentator than wrestler as well, so good old British self-deprecating sense of humour there to a degree. So I'd love to see a Nigel McGuinness return 100% if he's happy, if he's healthy, if he's cleared. Great. I love Nigel McGuinness. I love those old Danielson matches. They were really important to me in getting into Ring of Honor and getting into both of these men and their work. That being said, yeah, if you're going to have the Bryan Danielson wrestle, and Tony Khan knows this, he knows wrestling history and he knows what people want to see. Yeah, something with Bryan Danielson would make a lot of sense, given their matches in Ring of Honor. And Danielson is one of the biggest misses from the show. There was also reports of him and Omega potentially being lined up for a singles match on this event. Guess they had a bunch of different possibilities here, but doesn't look like we're getting any Nigel stuff. I wonder if we'll maybe see him get some kind of moment on the show, even if it's just walking out for the crowd or something, down to the commentary desk. That'd be nice. I'd like to see that. But gonna wrap this one up today, folks. It's been a rough week, of course, and one positive of it is that it's been really nice seeing the wider wrestling community coming together, sharing their favourite moments of Bray Wyatt, their positive memories, their favourite memories of Terry Funk, and seeing things like videos of Bray Wyatt being nice to people's children and just being a good dude, and hearing the myriad crazy Terry Funk stories that came out. Like, if you've never heard the Insane Clown Posse thing with the chili and the money, Google that. It's hilarious. It's been a rough week, but people have shared their fond memories, and that's been a good way to help us all get through it. So please keep doing that. Please keep doing that in the comments section below. Let us know your favourite Terry Funk memories, your favourite Bray Wyatt memories. Let us know what you think of last night's SmackDown tribute show. Simon Miller will be here with a full ups and downs episode covering that a little bit later on. If you've not seen it yet, Simon penned a wonderful tribute to Bray that we put out on the channel yesterday afternoon. I wholeheartedly encourage you to watch that. But for now, I'm signing off. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. Rest in peace, Terry Funk. I'll see you soon.